Hey guys, and welcome to our Friday live stream, your little Switcher Studio update. If it's your first time tuning in, I'm Angela, and of course I'm here with Dan.
Hello, everybody.
And we have a lot to discuss with you guys today. We have some information about the new app update, we have some information about our setup, and we know a lot of you guys have been asking about those Switcher t-shirts. We have some information on that as well. So we're going to go ahead and get into some common topics and questions that we've seen today. The first that we want to let you know, of course, last week we announced that Switcher Studio 3.0 was released. It gave you guys the options for video integration. You can mute your audio, you've got your camera control sliders, and if you're using an iPhone or an iPod Touch, you now have the interface where you can do, your graphic upload, everything like that, instead of just using an iPad. Now, we did have a couple of users write in. They noticed a couple of issues with it, so a couple of nights ago we released another new update. It's 3.0.1. Go ahead and install that. It's got a lot of those bug fixes so that the app works exactly the way it was intended. We've also had some people ask about Switcher Media Manager. Earlier this week we also put out a new version of Switcher Media Manager. Again, just go into our knowledge base. You can do that by going to switcherstudio.com and clicking on Help Center, and at that point you'll be able to download the new version of Switcher Media Manager, which works really well with 3.0.1. Now, another thing we want to talk about is, of course, with the video insertion, we've had a couple of questions on it, as well as on the photo insertion. Some people are not able to find their graphics or their videos to import into Switcher, and the main thing we're seeing causing that is not having them on the camera roll. So they cannot be on the cloud, it can't be anything with AirDrop. You've got to have the pictures or the videos on the actual camera roll of the device you're using, your main switcher, and then after that you can upload it. Now, the most common way to do that is to send the images to yourself from your computer. After that, you're able to just click on that email, save it to your camera roll, and bring it directly into Switcher. If it's a situation where you cannot put the email address on the iPad or iPhone, we recommend using the free program Dropbox. You can upload the image or the video to dropbox.com, install that free app onto your device, and then you can save directly to the camera roll by using that as well. So again, make sure it's on the physical camera roll and you guys should have no issues. Another thing we want to discuss that I've seen come up a lot this week are issues with Facebook. We've had a lot of people just have some issues with streaming, maybe a certain error, not able to stream to a group or to a page that you admin on. Whenever that happens, it just means the initial integration did not go through the way it should. We have a couple of guides on our knowledge base for this, but essentially what you have to do is to unlink Facebook from Switcher, unlink Switcher from Facebook, and link them back together. That will resolve the problem immediately and allow you to stream. This takes about 2 to 3 minutes to complete. Again, you would go into your main Switcher, delete Facebook, go into your Facebook account, unlink Switcher from it, link them back together, and you're good to go. That's going to solve most errors that you'll run into. And the last thing I want to discuss, we've had a couple of people write in this week about Galileo. Can it still be used? Should they purchase one? So we just wanted to go over that a little bit more as well. As a lot of you know, Motor, the company who made Galileo, went out of business last summer. So they're no longer able to update that product. Currently, Galileo still does work with Switcher Studio though. We actually put in a couple of bug fixes for 3.0 to smooth out a lot of issues that you are starting to have with the Galileo. We do want to caution though, since nothing can be upgraded on their side, eventually it is going to become out of date. There are going to be more issues with it. We are looking to integrate other products before that happens, but if you're purchasing one brand new, do know that it is an outdated product. If you already have one or want to use it anyway, we do have things running smoothly with this new update though. So Galileo is still working, and if you have any questions, just let us know and we're able to help you out with the Galileo. But what we want to do now, those are just some common topics we've had this week. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Dan, and he's going to talk a little bit more about, our current setup and different setups that we've used.
Yeah, so I know on the Wednesday broadcast I was talking about our super mobile video setup where at Summit Live, some of you might have seen it there, we had three cameras all running off of one tripod. I think Angela's, yep, queuing up the shot.
Yeah.
So there you can see it. It's all running off of one tripod. The real key player here is we found it's the Movo accessory cold shoe. It's just a metal extension bar. It's actually used for, I believe, DSLR cameras and people taking photos so they can add flashes and whatnot. But we've got two of them kind of stuck together. And if you want to queue up the picture we have, Nick actually just ran out to the hardware store and was able to just buy a piece of metal that we were able to scrap on to make it a little more sturdy. So you can slide in as many different cold shoe adapters onto there. That's why we have our three cameras there. You can also throw up some lights on there. For instance, there's this one. There's the Manfrotto. That's a little guy. Really powerful. A couple of these would give you enough light. Of course, we're not using those since we have our studio lighting here. I mean, also, honestly, we're using my iPhone as our main middle camera. Then we have the Lumi case on that, so the Lumi case would also work for a little extra video. So that's a cool way to really, when you're out there and you want to have a really mobile setup, just an easy, nice way, nice, clean way to do it. So you don't have to lug out three tripods or something else. I've actually have a link to the Amazon. Let me throw that into our chat for you all so you can take a look if you wanted to see how we're doing that. Let's see what else. So another thing on our, after I did the Wednesday kind of update, somebody commented on there and wanted to know what my setup for that was, and that was just a one camera setup. And I've got a picture here I took, and that's all the gear that I use for my single camera setup. So it's really just I have the tripod there with my remote camera on it, and then I've got typically my iPad that I'll put into an iographer case and throw it onto a table tripod, and then the mic is just a shotgun mic run into an iRig Pro. And what's pretty cool is I found these. I can link to it and show you all these in a little bit too. I don't have the link handy to me, but will let you put a cold shoe onto a tripod mount. So that's how we're actually using our mic right here as well. So pretty cool, nice couple clean setups. That's how we do a lot of our video when we're out there on the road in these trade shows and stuff. It's tough, especially when we're in Louisville and flying all the way across the country to LA for VidCon or Summit Live or Las Vegas for the NAB. It's a lot better when you don't have to bring all those tripods, because that's the one thing taking up all the space.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's our setup. We've had a lot of questions come through on that recently. So again, Dan's going to put up those links just in the description after this broadcast, so that way you guys can see more of what we're using and be able to use that on your own. And the last thing we wanted to discuss today, we know there is a lot of support for joining the Switcher Studio Enthusiast group. We still heavily encourage you guys to do that. And of course, if you joined before the end of February, there was the offer to get the free Switcher Studio t-shirts. A lot of people have been asking just about the process and when they're getting those shirts. So in a couple of days, over the weekend, at the start of next week, keep an eye out in your email. You're going to be getting a confirmation email just confirming that you do have an active subscription, that your mailing address that you submitted is correct, and that your shirt size is correct. When you get that email, just send a quick email back. It'll probably come through from me. Just let me know that the information is correct. If it's not, let me know what to change it to, and we'll be getting those all sent out very shortly. So keep an eye out for that. And again, remember, to get that t-shirt, you have to have an active Switcher Studio subscription. So if you remember filling out that mailing form, but your subscription was not active or is not active, make sure to go ahead and go to switcherstudio.com, log into your account, activate that subscription, and then either just send us an email directly or a message on Facebook or Twitter. Let us know, hey, I've updated, my subscription. I'd already written in to get a free shirt. And that way we can make sure we've got you on that list and that we can confirm your size and your mailing address as well. And if you missed that deadline or you just can't get that active subscription right now, don't worry. We will have opportunities in the future to get more Switcher Studio t-shirts. just like last week, we're going to have more opportunities to win cool products. The winner of our book, you're going to be getting that very soon in the mail as well. So, it definitely pays to tune in and to join that user group. And again, that group's been really helpful for answering a lot of user questions and sharing some tips and tricks. But that's all for the t-shirts. Dan, how are we doing on time right now?
It looks like we're just can't talk. Just about out of time here. Timothy, I see you have a question there, and I'd love to answer it, but it looks like Nick's beat me to it and got all that information there. So anyone else who has a question, if we didn't cover it here or need a little more information, go ahead and plug it into the comments here, and we will answer as many of those as we can. Or, of course, you can always email us at support@switcherstudio.com, or like Angela was talking about, the user group. That's been great. If you're in there, post there, and a lot of times someone else in that group can help you out as well. We want to thank you all for tuning in. You all are excellent, awesome. Keep making awesome video.
Yes, and as usual, we will see you guys next week at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Thanks, guys.
Take care.